All right, the next video we're going to look at is how to use the ExtremeHurst scanner. So there are a lot of options in the scanner, so we'll probably be the source of a couple of videos. So we start up by pressing the button on the launcher. This is the launcher. We'll put that away. Okay, on the scanner, it's similar to what we've had before. Some would say pretty much the same. There's a couple of new additions, and I'll go through those. These are the same as they were before, single security list. It can be a CSV file or a text file. It'll pull out the index holdings of any index that you put in there, or if you have a PRTU file on Bloomberg, it'll take that. You can look at individual securities, spreads, ratio spreads. It'll form those automatically with highs and lows. And then also you can add options onto your run if you want to do that. So under the options, you're also looking at this underlying securities and then at the money options prices to see if there are any signals. So the only thing new on this in this row, well, there's a couple things on this row, but here, before we had a scan built from 5, 5, 15, 30, we had set look back periods. Now you can add your own custom. So if you want to search, say, 78-minute charts, you can do that, and it just adds it on the bottom of the list. So right there. So if you check the 78 minutes, then I guess I can show you that. So I'll uncheck daily, and we'll just scan a 78-minute chart, which is what some people enjoy doing because it divides evenly into the trading day in the U.S. Okay, the change over here on the filters, my favorite is a 97 rank. Before we had trade quality, which is a 95 rank and above for ExtremeHurst. You can always change it back down. I've set it to what I like. It may not be what you are interested in, but I like the highest rank signals the best. And over here we have you can search either the default preferences, which is what we had before. More signals, all that does is it searches the original bars and then it doubles the bars and searches those too. So if you're searching 78 minutes and you're doing double bars, you're going to be also searching 150, 156 minute, right? Double 140, 156, right? So exhaustive search is when you want to search exhaustively. I mean, that's the best way to say it. Normally, the search is an iterative process, and it can miss a signal because it's iterating on hotspots in the back history. Generally, exhaustive will take a lot longer, but it will not miss anything if it's there. So, without any further ado, we'll hit signal search and start that off with, say, the OEX. 78-minute. And so there we go. Now this time we've engineered multi-threading into ExtremeHurst scanner, so it'll download, takes a second to download. That's off of Bloomberg, and then it'll run all of the threads that it has. My particular machine has 24 threads or 24 cores, so it'll run in parallel when it's doing ExtremeHurst. So that will go very fast. But let's let this go first and soak up the data. A couple of things while this is running. You'll notice there's a little icon here that looks like a television. This is a pop-out chart that will pop out a much bigger chart. That's something nice. This little chart that we have down below it's quick and dirty, but it's not good for, really taking a close look at what's going on. And then under the chart book option down below, which we'll get to, there will be another option there that wasn't there before, which is to automatically create a chart book instead of just adding charts one at a time. You can have it add all the charts and go off and get a cup of coffee. Under analysis, we have a new option in here as well called macro analysis, and that is that's where we actually look at which stocks in the index. We're just running the OEX index, so we're going to look at how many stocks were in persistent uptrends at a given point in time versus persistent downtrends, and how many were, how many stocks in the index had extensions versus compressions. So we'll be able to look at that. And I think that's the chart zoom now works properly, which it wasn't working very well before. And I think that's it. Under additional settings, we do have the ability to scan the entire, either 2 bars back, 20 bars, which is the default, to search backwards for signal, or we can search 200 bars back. And the reason for 200 bars is under the macro analysis, we're able to look at extensions and compressions in history, the percentage of stocks in an index or in for a particular time frame too, that are extended or compressed. So that's a nice new feature, and there's an analysis that goes with it. So now that we've brought in all the Bloomberg data, it's going to do the run, and you'll see it goes pretty quick. We've already done 25 of the 100, 30, 37, 39, and see how fast it's running. It won't spit them out till the end because they're all running in parallel. And as soon as it's done, you'll see all that it found. So it should appear almost immediately here. It's coming. Come on. It takes a little bit. There you go. So now it dumped out all the signals it found. They were all 78-minute. You see the scale over here, 78-minute. You can sort them to see which ones are the most current. I think that's the most current. So we've got American Express is at a bottom extension. And anyway, so you've seen these before. This is the rank. Again, I set it at 97. So we're seeing, and I've set it to, its default is 20 bars back. So it did that. Now, if I want to make a chart book, go down here and see, it says auto generate all. So I'm going to generate a chart book with all of these, but it's not going to pick them all. It's going to pick the most recent signal on each of the securities. So there's only going to be one chart per security. So if there's additional signals, you'll see those on the chart, like this one here. So it's going to go through them all, which is a nice way to take a look while you're waiting. And then you'll be able to print them out. So it says there were 19 signals found on the 78-minute. 12 charts were added to the chart book. So I'm going to print the chart book here. Let me move this down. Get this out of, there we go. We're going to print a PDF, and I'll just call it test 78-minute, and we'll save it, and it'll go ahead and print all these, and when it's done I'll be able to close this and we'll take a look at the printout. I think that's probably enough time. Okay, so it's printed to, yeah, I never know where it prints to. That's why I have this tool called Everything down here, which is really helpful. I can find .pdf, oops, .pdf, PDF, yeah, I did it again, .pdf. There it is. Okay, so we open it. There's, again, like it was before, there's 3 charts to a page, and it's auto-generated. So you can print that out, take it home, forward it, email it to yourself, and study the signals. Okay, so we also have the trade box in the pictures now instead of the way it was before. So under analysis, well, I'll show you the pop-out chart too. We've got a, let's go back to the most recent one, which is up here. Okay, that's the most recent pop-out chart, and we've got a couple of extensions on the 78-minute bottom extensions on Amex today. All right. So we can print that, save the image, close the file. And then under analysis, we have, well, actually we have one more thing that I didn't discuss, which is the alert log. Every time you have a signal on the current bar, it will fire into the alert log. So we had one like we're showing on Amex on July 8th, and the time, move this over just a hair, 11:42, and that is good for 9 bars, so 9 78-minute bars. So you can print that, save it, whatever. All of the apps now feed this alert window. So no matter which app you're running, if there's an alert on the current bar, it'll show up there. And then also under analysis is this macro analysis. It's going to show you a 78-minute chart of the OEX. So this is, it's kind of a little bit ratty, but this is the gray line is the 78-minute version of the OEX. And I guess it would be a little cleaner if there were more, I don't know, more signals or whatever. So the green means this is the percentage of the OEX stocks, the 78-minute OEX stocks that were in persistent uptrends. In other words, in the green area of the Hurst bands, showing buying because going up. In other words, positive feedback upwards. So these are the positive feedback downwards, the red ones. So when the red is, the green is above the red, you get uptrends. And this purple line is our own advanced decline line. It's basically taking only the persistent securities and plotting them, not the ones that are mean reverting. So here's the mean reverting ones. We're not looking at those. We're only looking at the ones that are in persistent trends, and adding an accumulation or advanced decline line based on those. So this purple line is the advanced decline line for those. And you're seeing, see, the OEX is making a new high over here, but are we making a higher high in this line? We're not. So on a 78-minute basis, this is pretty divergent. They'll make a new high over here. We didn't make a new high on this line. So there's also an analysis attached right here. This is all care of Claude. So one of the things that he notes in here is the crossover when these two red and green lines cross each other, and we just had a crossover today to the green line going below the red line, which means there's now many fewer that are in persistent uptrends than there are in persistent downtrends, although the numbers themselves are pretty low. So those are all new things in the scanner. I didn't show you one particularly exciting thing, which is, guess what? You can right-click on this, and you can add additional overlays if you want. If you want to add back history to your chart, you can do that here. We've had that ability before. It was called History Plus, I think, on the other app. You can also go to our new plotting app, or charting app, here, and you can get let's say you want to get a time grid of American Express. Well, you can do that here. It automatically brings up the new Parallax charting app and will plot 6 charts: a monthly chart, weekly, daily, 4-hour. Oh, there's the monthly chart with valuations. You can see the valuations here. This is from Price Wizard. Automatically on the chart, this arrow up here is from a precision turn, which you never have seen before. So these are precision turn signals on Amex. That's our cycle model. It's not the same as ExtremeHurst. The valuations are down here. The red and green Hurst bands are shown colored in. So the blue is where you're mean reverting, and the market is in a persistent uptrend if it's in the green zone, and then it's in equilibrium, sort of a chop trading area if it's in the blue mean reverting area. So that's all new. The channels are still there. We've got a couple of other indicators that you haven't seen before. We've got RSI-Z, which is just a standard deviation version of RSI. The dashed lines are where it becomes significant. And then underneath we have what's called Hurst Fur, which is many of you have seen when I do demos, where we have Hurst calculations at small scales up to large scales, and where the column is all one color all the way up and down. That's where you tend to find extensions. It's not a determinant of extensions, but you tend to find them there. So what we're at now is 60-minute. So we've done monthly, weekly, daily, 4-hour, 60-minute, and then we'll do a 15-minute. We've got a bottom extension here. The line in the middle here is volume trend, which used to be plotted underneath as a blue line, but now we can color code it and overlay it on the chart. So you can see, again, that line only moves if volume's increasing, and it doesn't move at all if volume's decreasing. So this is going outside the normal window, or the window for our demo, but I can bring it back on the next. I'm going to do a special video on the charting tool. So that'll be it for now, and you can see all the new things that are in the scanner, which are pretty cool. And let me close this out, and we'll come back.